what's up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of The Dark Corner. Now, as you can tell, this is obviously not part two of the first episode. Originally, was gonna go ghost hunting for this episode. I even have a ghost hunting crew for this, actually. My coworker and a couple of friends of mine. So, actually, I had that down. We had a set. We're going to do it today, which is Thursday. But weather was actually kind of weird, and everybody had some scheduling conflicts. So, said screw it. We'll do it next week. You know. But I wanted to film in a second episode anyway because I wanted to get in practice of something. So, today's episode is going to be a story time. Now, I'm a little nervous about this because it's the first time I've ever done, scary story reading. I've done reading on a video before. I used to do voiceovers for an article I used to write for a magazine called Lost Anarchy when I was living in California. So I did voiceovers for the article. But as far as something like this goes, I've never done before. So this is new territory, so I'm going to be rough on this. I'm not even going to lie. I do appreciate any feedback you can give me, any advice, critique, if you will. So basically, I have two stories, just doing two stories. Ended up combing Reddit. Now, my original plans for doing these Storytime videos for the Dark Corner, I did not want to use any stories I found on Reddit. What my goal is have you all send stories into me, like actual stories that you have been through, any paranormal experiences, any scary stories or whatever. It's just something that's actually happened to you. I can either read it and I can give you full credit, say, give you a shout out, or if you want to remain anonymous, I can do that too, as well. So definitely submit those to me, because honestly, I don't want to read stories from Reddit for two reasons. Number one, I'm trying to keep things semi-original, and I want to interact with all of you, and I want to, use your stories for this. And the second reason is I actually was going to do like about 3 or 4 stories for this, because these are all short stories. I actually tried reading a couple previously before this. And one thing I noticed, a lot of these stories and creepypastas or whatever, some of them are not written very well. I mean, I'm not trying to be a grammar Nazi or anything, because I'm the last person that should be talking about anybody's grammar. If you've seen my writings, you know. But still, that's, this is kind of next level. So, I already have trouble as far as reading these anyway, because I'm nervous and I'm trying to get in the practice of it and everything. I'm trying not to stumble so much. But, when you're doing that and then you're running across something with a story with lots of discrepancies in it, and it's just hard to read, period, for anybody. And it's a pain in the ass trying to improvise things while you're going along. I just rather not do it. I'd rather it's just easier to go with actual stories that people send me in. But since nobody had a chance to send me anything in yet, I did pull one story off of Reddit. It's called Grandpa. just a short story. The second story is an actual personal experience from when my spouse, Dr. Bitchcraft, and I were living in California when we were ghost hunting at the Pasadena Bridge, which is commonly known as a suicide bridge. So I include that story in as well. Trigger warning, there is mention of suicide. Trying to get in the habit of adding those because I want to be inclusive with these videos. I don't want to just, alienate anybody for any reasons. So yeah, let's get on with the stories. And I'll be back. Trigger warning, content warning, mention of suicide. Some background information before I start. I was around 5 at the time, and the year before all this happened, my grandpa on my mom's side killed himself. Before he passed, he gave me something. It was a big wooden toy chest. Then for my 5th birthday, my grandma, wife of my dead grandpa, gave me a wicker chair. I slept up in a nice attic. It didn't look scary or anything, it just looked like a big room. Now to the time that this took place, I was sleeping in my bed, which is almost in the center of the room. If I were to look to my left, I could see the stairs in my dresser, and if I looked right, I would see the chair up against the wall and the chest against each other, and a nightlight on the wall facing me. I was looking at my dresser, and I was looking at a picture frame I had gotten from school then. In the reflection of the picture frame, a black shadow moved from the wicker chair to the toy chest. I couldn't move. I've seen stuff when I was little, but I knew fully well no one was in my room with me. "Dad?" I said, because he's done this before with me, just for shits and giggles, but no response. I told myself I had to look, just so that I knew I wasn't crazy. I slowly turned around to look, but there was nothing, but I knew something wasn't right. I quickly got up and started sprinting for the stairs. Before I started going down the first floor, I heard someone say my name in my ear. I sprinted down the stairs and flew through a baby gate set up so my little brother didn't go upstairs. Luckily, when I got downstairs, my dad was still awake. I was telling him everything, and my mom soon came out, and I told her the same thing. My mom took out some holy water, and we said a prayer. Later on, when I was much older, my dad and my mom were telling stories of our old house we used to live in. I brought up the time I saw a ghost and my mom told me that my grandma on my dad's side had a sixth sense and that she was not a huge fan of the house. And apparently my dad has it too. So was it my grandpa? It's a random ghost or a spirit? Or could I have just been an overdramatic kid? Okay guys, here's a story of my own. A few years ago, when my spouse and I were still living in California, we kind of occasionally went ghost hunting with an ex-friend of ours. He was always a chicken shit, would stay in the car while we would actually walk around and try to get pictures of like orbs and stuff, or maybe even try to get an EVP or two. We paid a visit one night to, actually there was a few times we went there, but there was one particular night we went to a place called Suicide Bridge. It's a bridge in Pasadena. It's been around for at least 100 years, and pretty much during the time, yearly people commit suicide off of it. They even put barriers around the bridge itself, and somehow people get around it and they still end up jumping off it and committing suicide. I mean, it goes back far as even in the early days when they were building it, workers died there. This particular night, we were doing our thing. We kept teasing our ex-friend that was sitting in the car. You know, he was not having it. And he talked a big game, but you couldn't get him out the car for nothing. So we walked around, we took pictures, we checked stuff out. We were under the bridge, by the way. On top of the bridge, there's no place to park. Under the bridge, there's plenty of places to park. It's fields. Supposedly nearby is an old asylum as well. There's also a lot of residences down there as well. Because a lot of people live pretty much under the bridge almost, but in nice fancy houses. So walking around, and we're around by a gate that's under. I don't know if this is part of the bridge, or maybe if this was actually part of the asylum. I'm not. Wasn't pretty much sure of the area, and it's dark. It's kind of hard to tell. So we're filming. We're joking around. We're kind of having fun. I was like making a video with my camera at the time too. And while filming, I was in the middle of talking. I was kind of joking about something, and all of a sudden, not only did it get cold, and this was a summer night, by the way, I literally felt something walk right through me. It was like if someone had a layer of very cold ice water, and it just passed right through me. It freaked me out, made me anxious. I was hard to breathe. That was one of the few times something like that's ever happened to me. I've never been to the point where I was actually freaking out. I couldn't breathe. It was just out of nowhere. And at that moment, I turned my camera off and said, "We gotta go. Let's go." I had this feeling that whatever that was did not want us there. So we left. Later on, when editing the video, and I can probably find it for you, it's on YouTube somewhere. While looking through the video, I noticed right before the moment when I got the cold chill and I had whatever happened to me happen, I saw an orb coming right at me on the camera. So there you have it. Like I said, I apologize. It feels a little rough. Also, in case you noticed that the audio was a little funky, that's because I don't actually have like the fancy microphone or anything, or a microphone at all for that matter. I was actually using my phone to record the audio. Hopefully it'll sound okay. Hopefully it won't sound too bad after I get everything mixed down and everything. I'm also adding some background music for that too, so we'll see. I'm more concerned about how I sound actually reading this stuff off. So, if it sounds a little funky, once again, please excuse me. I hope to get some more practice with it soon. Just let me know what you think. Please leave me some comments below. I mean, not only is it because it's good for my algorithms on here, but it's also good so that way, I get some feedback on it. One thing I want to say I'm really happy about though, first episode I've done of this, I got a huge reaction. Well, not huge, but a really good reaction from a lot of you. I mean, a lot of you are into this. A lot of you want to see where this series goes, and that really makes me happy because I'm a big fan of the YouTube horror community, horror in general, scary stories, creepypastas, all the paranormal videos like the top 15 and all that, and urban exploration, all that. And for me, just deciding, go, what the hell, I'm going to dive into doing this too. And then a lot of you are actually very responsive for that, and you actually are liking these so far. It makes me happy, and I'm hoping I can keep the momentum going and just make these better and better. And I really appreciate everybody who's joined the Facebook group, The Dark Corner. If you haven't, look for it on Facebook, join it. Well, Facebook page, not a Facebook group. I don't know why it's a group, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I appreciate it, and I'm gonna try to make these videos better and better. These videos are gonna be kind of all gonna be different directions. I'm gonna be, you know, obviously I'm going to be doing more paranormal stuff. Like I'm gonna definitely plan on doing lots more ghost hunting. I kind of have a crew now, and hopefully it's growing. A little bit of urban exploration. Not gonna get too crazy with it because you know, police, people with guns, Indiana. Um, um, also gonna probably have some paranormal discussions. Gonna uh, have more story times, and hopefully by then, after a while, I have some better practice with it, and I'll actually have some people actually sending in actual stories for me to read as well. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching. Uh, as always, make sure to hit the like button, leave some comments, share. If you're not subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button and tap on that notification bell because I upload videos pretty often. Also, join my Patreon for as little as $1. You get a shout out every video. And so far, we got 2 patrons so far. Trying to get more. The more patrons I get, the more chance I can have like a little more income to help me out with these. Because as I always stated before, you know, while this is a hobby of mine, I would probably do a lot more if I could make something off it. Because I'm not making money off these videos at all, obviously. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be back to another video. The next video should be the ghost hunting video, which will be the continuation to the first video. Just waiting for times and better weather. Anyway, thanks for watching, and remember to always beware of what's hiding in those dark corners. See you guys soon.